Hello everyone, I am Darkness and this will be a video tutorial on how to make the ISFL stream graphics. It's a pretty simple process that's mostly about just clicking the right buttons and layout. Very uncomplicated for anyone. So one of the first things you're going to need to do is you're going to have to come into Stream Assets and download these for PSDs. Don't need to do anything more than that, just download them. These are your pretty much only for your need. The fixtures, playoffs, standings, and a thumbnail, which I have all four set up to show. The other thing you'll need is if you go to the pins messages, where the Google Drive, if you go into the source files, you will also need to download the font. Now, me personally, because I do all the DSFL, mine overwrites to the DSFL font, which is also in this master file. It is in here, super bold. Honestly, as long as it looks good, doesn't really matter which font you use, but we prefer consistency. So either this one in the DSFL folder, or use this ISFL, which it's meant for. They're different fonts, but they both have a very similar look. That is all you need to download. Then, for it, we use the Photopea site. It's completely free. You don't need anything. All you do is you click Open from Computer, and it'll start to remember, but you just gotta find wherever yours are. So I just have a folder with all my ISFL software. Click on it, and it'll open. You can see at the top here it's loading and it's doing all the fonts. But I'm going to close this tab because I have them all open here. So you see a thumbnail, the fixtures, the standings, and the playoffs. Going one by one, we start with the thumbnail, which is the easiest of the lot. So, we don't need to worry about the team masters. This is all for editing. Let's say for team rebrands or anything, someone will come in, edit this up so it is prepared for us. All we care about are these other ones. And all we are doing here is for each game, you see game 1's at the top, game 2 is here. These I just hides, makes it visible or whatnot. All we want to do in here is select which team is in which spot. So you will have the file, and you can look and go, okay, the first team away game is Berlin, so you just select the Berlin team, make sure any team above them is turned off, and now we have Berlin, and they are versing Chicago. Click Chicago, bang. Done. Next game, game 2, 3, all the way down to 7. It's pretty simple work. Next, you just go to the text, which is, as you can see, is this part, so you can see it. If it's color rush, we slam this on. Week 12 is where here, so you just double click on that and you type in, so week, capitals week 1, week 12, week 16, whatever it is. Let's say it's week 5, all you see there, wild card, conference, championship, and you can always highlight it and come here and change the size. Playoffs, if it's not the playoffs, you can just get rid of it. And yeah, okay, let's say then instead it is week 5, and then the season. So we would be going into season 40. Season 48. Same thing, we can make it a bit smaller to fit on the page, or if you click on this, you got to click on them all. I just use the arrow keys, you can move them across. You also just click and drag. Try not to do it so it stays in place. But if it's, slightly off, you can move things around very simply. And that's all for thumbnail. So, every time then you have set something as being ready, you have to come up to the top, click File, Export As. So I do PNG, maybe another photo works better for you, but I'll just keep it PNG. It'll come up here, rename it. So I am going to call this ISFL S48 Week 5 Thumbnail. You can name it whatever you want, because if it's now as a streamer, you don't have to send them away, and just press save. So now when you see your files, boom, first one there. Then we move on to fixtures, which again is a very similar progress. We can come to the header footer part, to this top. Same thing. What week is it? Okay, it is week 4. What season is it? Okay, it's not 46, it's season 54. And we don't have to change anything else. Then we go to the games, which is a very similar process. So first of all, away and home. Which team is away? Is it Arizona? Maybe it's Austin, maybe it's Honolulu, maybe it's Sarasota. Who's the home team? Same thing, let's say it is Chicago. Oops, still opening games. Then you get to results, which are usually blank. So you'll come in here, you can put the whole thing on. If it is overtime game, you'll click this so its symbol shows up. Otherwise, just like we edited the text before, click on away score, insert the score. Click on the home score, insert the score. You can do the same. You can change the line so it's in the same text. So, Chicago beat them 21. That is game 1. Done. So you'll come back to here, export as PNG, whatever your name is, and save it. You do that, then you do game 2. What is the game's 2 result? Save it. What is game's 3 results? Save it. Game 4 results? Save it. 5. Save it. 6. Save it. 7. Save it. Now, there is something else in here that I'm moving us away from, which is the team masters. We had the ability, if you clicked into them, to do team records, but this is just an extra step that I think is not necessary. It's clean like this, there's less chances for a leak, so we don't have to do that. All you have to do is select which team goes in which place, away and home, add result, save a picture. Standings is very simple. You come in here, it's separated by conference. Who is the first seed in this conference? Okay, it's Arizona. It's always Arizona. Who is the second seed? Well, maybe it's Honolulu, maybe it's New York. Same for NSFC, do the same. Then we come to just click and insert the score. So maybe it's much closer and says it's only 3-1. Why are that really wanting to work for me? There you go, maybe they're also 3-1. I sometimes have to double click this. 3-1, 2-2, just dragging across each one, 2-2, 1-3, 0-4. You don't even have to move anything, just select the teams. Then do the same thing over here, you end up in the NSFC. Let's not move the whole thing. Click on the record. I'll make sure we're only highlighting each whatever the record is, moving whatever record, just the same thing. always just highlighting the team we want to use. Now at the top being the header footer, again, changing the week, changing the season. The one thing that all of these haven't showed in common is this background tab. So if it is a color rush week, feel free to use any of these preloaded ones. Maybe not the one with heads. And you have our very own color rush. So you can see it on the thumbnail down here as well. You only have 3 fixtures. Again, coming down to background. Same thing. If you have your own color rush, you could probably upload it. Just open and place this down as its own separate background. If you're not comfortable doing that, just use one of these templates. The last one then is the playoffs, which again follows the exact same compass. You just want to go into the game, which team is going where, who's the home team, okay, we'll make it Arizona, who's the home team, we'll make it Austin, what is the result, well, let's say Austin smashes Arizona, but what you really want to is, first of your picture will have no result, you'll take a picture of this blank, then you'll come in, we'll put in the result, you'll also see this hue, and that's what grays out the teams. If it grays whatever it's above. So if you want the home team like Austin, you put it here. Above the home team, it grays it out. If you want the away team, so Arizona, you put it above the away folder. It grays it out. Game 2 is then the NFC Championship. Same thing. If we want Cape Town, you put it on the away team. If you want the home team, put it above the away home team. Just be careful you don't put it in a folder, it's very easy to. And you have game 3, game 4 is the AFC Championship, game 5 is the wild card. And that is all there is to the graphics. You download the PSTs, download the fonts. Most of the work is just change the text to the right rake in the right season. Click the buttons to highlight the right teams. Save it. Change the week, change the teams. Save every time you put the results in. Upload standings, save a picture. It's very simple work that probably takes you about 10 minutes, if that, before you start streaming. And yeah, with all of that, you should be ready to make your own graphics. So thank you.